Hello! Welcome back. This is episode 46. We are smashing secrets.
We are. I got my words stuck.
We are. Mum and I have just been talking for an hour and now we don't know how to talk. So it's really nice to have you all here joining us.
I'm going red because it's true.
How are you?
I'm very well, and I love the sound of your Scottish holiday. I love the fact that you've enjoyed yourself on a tiny little sailing boat, risking your life and limb.
Yeah, there's something really funny about the idea of just like being in a sailing boat. I can't remember how big it was. It wasn't huge, but sailing boat, 9 people squeezed in, just getting on for the week. It sounds like it would drive anyone crazy, but it was really fun.
Not my cup of tea, I'll be honest.
It was so
Mind you,
fun.
I'd rather do the sailing in Scotland than swimming with blue sharks that are 10 foot long, which is your next adventure, and then
Yeah, I'm doing that
followed
in
up by
July.
your wild camping and kayaking in Sweden.
Yep. I can't
that's,
wait.
that's
These
why
are
it took an
like,
hour. It was like
yeah,
shock face.
yeah. I was telling Mum about the sharks when I said that they can grow up to 13 foot long. They're blue sharks. She was just like open mouth looking at me, just like, why?
Horror,
Why are
horror.
you doing this?
What have I done to be tortured so much?
And then like we looked up how many of these blue sharks have hurt people in a year, and they've like killed 4 people in a year and like 30 non-fatal in a year, so it's fine.
There's probably only
Maybe I'll be a
30
lucky
people.
one.
Maybe there was only 30 people that were willing to do it.
Yeah, I'm very excited. But yeah, Scotland's really good. I don't know if we've got any Scottish listeners. If you do, hi, love it over there. So nice. Went to Glasgow. That was really fun. I mean, like, I went during the bank holiday, and I don't know if it's like that every weekend or if it's because it was a bank holiday, but people were getting on it. People were drunk. Wow. And like,
Was it a
yeah.
party hedonistic atmosphere?
Yeah, it was a bit. Do you know what it reminded me of? Like, in Soho in London on like New Year's Eve when people go a little bit like chaotic.
It was like that.
Yeah. And I was like, is this just a normal weekend or is it because it's bank holiday? I don't know. Or is it, yeah, I don't know. But I was there for it. I was enjoying it. It was very good.
Good
Like,
atmosphere.
yeah, big fan of Scotland. And I can't remember if I mentioned this in the podcast, I might have, but on my dad's side, I looked up the family tree and up to the 16th century because I couldn't get any further. They were all born, bred, and died in Glasgow. So I've got a huge Glaswegian, not Glasgowian.
A streak of
Yeah.
hedonism,
Yeah, which
of
is so cool.
drunken partying.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really a big drinker much more anymore, but it was really, really fun. And like the islands are beautiful and the sailing was beautiful. It was really good sailing, really good snorkeling. Sorry about all the noise going outside. I'm back in London. It's very urban and it makes me
Concrete
sad.
jungle.
Literally.
But can you put some of your Scottish photos up on our Smashing Secrets sort of pages, maybe on Instagram?
Yeah. I mean, there's much like the water element. There's lots of water. Water.
Mm-hmm.
They would say like instead of like head, they'd say hid. I'm trying to like do a Scottish accent, but I can't do it yet. I'm trying to like figure out how they do it, and I can't do it
What
yet.
about the food? What was the food like?
Oh my god, so we went to Isle of Arran, which is because we were sailing in the west side, the West Isles, and the food in Isle of Arran was really good. I had a sausage roll, which was out of this world. It was so delicious, and
Homemade.
yeah, and then I had some of their ice cream that was like all local, and it was really good. It was really tasty. I got like 2 flavors. One was like original, which was just like kind of like plain, and then the other one was Scottish tablet, and it was really, really good.
Tablet? What, like stone?
No, it was like caramel, like a fudge sort of thing.
Thing with an F or thing with a TH?
Thing. But oh my god, yeah, big fan. Yeah. Very, very,
Okay,
very
well,
nice.
I quite fancy some ice cream now. Oh, I meant to tell you.
What?
I found this amazing, really trendy clothing site, and it's actually called Ice Cream something. Let me just show you. Let me find it.
This isn't an advert, by the
No,
way.
Ice. It's called. I literally found it yesterday, and it's. I think it's made for men. I couldn't see any female stuff, but I didn't
ice
care. It's
ice
called
cream
Ice
made for
Cream.
men.
No, ice cream clothing.
What?
I think it's made for men because it's all to do with skateboarding. But they've got
Oh.
these really cute designs and bright colours, just perfect. I want to get these sort of. I was going to say trousers, but they're not really. They're more like tracksuit pants. But they've got like huge, brightly coloured ice creams all over them, and
Oh, nice.
they're so cool.
It
And they've got
sounds
these
very you.
and they've got t-shirts with puppies running across them,
Wow.
like animated puppies, not real ones. But they've got honestly everything on there. I've filled up my basket. I haven't bought it yet because it's like super expensive,
Is
but
it
I
like
filled up my
£700?
clothes 600. But I've got to thin it out
Uh,
because I literally just put in loads of things that I thought I have to have that.
oh my
But
gosh.
in the interests of saving money, and
A little bit.
and that I don't have 600 quid floating around to buy on colourful t-shirts. I haven't pressed buy yet, but I can just
Reasonable.
yeah, I can just look at it and just I mean, oh, they're so cute. So yeah, that was my little tidbit to
You
tell
should
you
definitely
before.
get some if they make you happy.
Yeah, but I don't want to spend that much money on a
No, you don't need
t-shirt.
to. No. How much is a t-shirt?
40 quid.
How many? How many t-shirts have you got in there?
Should I tell you? I just have a look at
Have you
my
got?
basket.
Let's do a wild guess, ladies and gentlemen. How many items do you think Mum has in her
So
basket?
t-shirts,
Wait, I'm gonna
I've
guess 24.
right. You're way off. I've
Is it
got,
more?
I've got a crunch,
64.
I've got a Crunchy Shark t-shirt,
I do not
a,
want. I do not want the full list. Oh my god, we'll be here all day.
a Rocket t-shirt. I've got
No,
a cone knitted jumper,
that's
a
enough. No, stop.
pos, a popsicle.
No, stop it. How
Okay,
many items are there?
9.
9,
Yeah,
and it costs £600.
well, just under. So,
9.
some of them are a bit more expensive. Some of them are like 100 quid.
Okay, if there's only 9, you can carry on. What are the other ones called?
So a multi soft serve sweatpant. I've got a popsicle t-shirt. I haven't got any of these. These are just in my wish list. A brick logo t-shirt, a V-neck knitted vest, and a couple of running puppy t-shirts, one in red, one in white. But yeah, super nice. It's just that super
Where did
expensive,
you hear
and
about them?
um, I can't
Instagram
remember.
ad?
No, I think it was. I think it was an online ad. It was something to do with a singer, actually. You know the singer who sung "Happy."
Cause
Farrah,
I'm
Farrah,
happy.
yeah, that one. It was a little article about him, and I think he's done
Oh, right. Yeah, fair enough.
how do you say it?
Yeah, collab. A
Yeah,
collaboration.
with this clothing company. So I thought, oh, I'll have a look, and turns out loved it. But I think it is for dudes, and I think it is particularly for skateboard dudes. So
I guess you have to. It's a
won't
lifestyle
work in
choice that you're moving into.
it won't work in the
You're going to
office.
start dressing very masculine, bright, and on a skateboard. Righteous. Anyway, 9 minutes. So we've done all our personal anecdotes. Should we get into the episode?
Yes, let's
So,
do that. Let's do that.
as you may or may not know, our lovely listeners, this is an episode about June, the energy transition of June.
Aye, and it's going to be pretty intense, actually.
Ooh.
So it's like a doubling up. All the flying stars have gone into a formation where they're sort of doubling up. So everything is going to be twice as strong as the previous month. So good if your house is facing a lucky direction, because it'd be double lucky, twice as lucky. But if it's facing a difficult direction, then we're going to
Not
have
so
to,
good.
yeah, it's doubly not so good. So I think that's what today's episode should be on, is first of all identifying what kind of energy is your house facing, thereby attracting. So every time you enter or leave through that direction, what sort of energy are you going to be sort of walking out into, and what sort of energy is going to be coming into the home, and what can you do about it? So I think that's what we should do, is break down each direction. And also on our Patreon, I'm putting this information on our Patreon with the cures. So don't worry, if you're not a member of Patreon yet, you will get some tidbits today. But if you are a member of our Patreon community, there'll be a lot more information available to you from the 5th of June.
Right, because that's when we're moving into the next month. Is it dragon?
Horse.
Oh, it's the horse.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, very good. And particularly for patients, for people that have the dog in their chart, or the tiger in their chart, or their goat in their chart,
Oh,
because
wow.
the horse combines very favorably with all of those energies and boosts the fire element up even more. So
Great.
say your house, you're facing north, aren't you?
Yes.
So very good. But when you're in the back garden, you'll be really having a big hefty dose of the fire energy, because the south is is where your back garden is. The south is naturally the direction on the Bagua that is the fire element direction. And this year, this month of June, it's got plenty of wealth stars, which are going to be doubling up. So when you're out in your garden tending to your plants, which I'm pleased to say are growing well and that were watered in your absence, then you'll be attracting more money luck. So and in fact, actually, your house facing north, that's also a lucky direction during the month of June.
That's lucky for me.
Yeah,
Anybody
very
else
lucky.
that's houses facing north?
Yeah, well, I'm facing south, so I'm happy. I've got money luck outside my front door. Um, yeah, the other lucky direction is north, but we've also got some good luck in the southwest. So that's really good for new operations. What's the medical stuff? New opportunities.
Nice.
So if your house is facing southwest, we know that the fire element is supporting the earth element. The southwest is typically in earth direction, but this month we've got a water star coming in. So if you wanted to boost that opportunity energy, then you could use a water feature positioned in the southwest, have the flow of water coming towards the house, not away. If you're using the fire method, then just maybe a scented candle or a lamp or a heat source. I mean, we're just entering nice, warm, hot weather over here in the UK, so I wouldn't bother with a heat source, but you can use a scented candle or even a lamp, but you put it on for a minimum of 3 hours. If it is a scented candle, then don't leave it unattended, and certainly don't leave it with any flammable materials like a curtain sort of hanging over the flame.
Yep.
Common sense and all that. But yeah, southwest, you've got wonderful new opportunities, so you can boost that if your house is facing southwest. Oopsie. Then, or if you've got your bedroom in the southwest, then it's to do with being recognised, and if you're doing any marketing or influencing, perhaps you could do it in your southwest sector of your home. It's really good for feminine energy, particularly all the mums out there. Can really help speed up your career. If you're in competitions, you should do really well. Really good if you're a business owner, because it's got energy associated with growth and expansion. So definitely would activate the southwest this year. And if you're spending time in the southwest, you can naturally draw that energy into you. If you put your back to the southwest, it's got more an effect on your relationships, your health and harmony. If you're facing southwest, you're facing opportunities, particularly financial opportunities or opportunities for success. So that's in the southwest. In the south, it's money luck all the way. So we've got a double eight combination. It's where all the money luck is concentrated. So it's really good for people that are wishing to improve their economy to perhaps buy ice cream clothing, t-shirts, or buy me one. It's good for accumulating assets. If your house is facing south, then you're going to just open the window, let that energy pour in. You can face south, you can put your back to the south, depending on whether you want to im- improve your energy in terms of relationships or whether you want to just flat on receive that financial energy. So facing south is more to do with the money luck, with the back to the south is more to nurture the relationships. So maybe you've got friends in wealthy places you want to nurture.
Great.
Oh, excuse
I
me.
see that.
um, Again, you can use feng shui to activate that energy to boost it and make sure it's not. Uh, if it's in the bathroom, actually, then yeah, you're going to be flushing some of that stuff away. So see what's going on in the south sector of your home, and if you can, keep it nice and clean and tidy. Keep the airflow nice and fresh, because then you're basically letting that beautiful energy into your property to circulate around the home. So it's not just within the south, it's coming in through the south. So funnel that chi into the home, get it to circulate. Now, one that's not so lucky and one that could be a little bit potentially feisty is in the southeast. So the southeast on the Bagua is is the direction of the backward to do with wealth and prosperity. But if your house is facing southeast, this month you could have some challenges, some conflict, some disagreements, potentially about money because of the Bagua association. But it could be just healthy competition, particularly if you're a tiger. If you're a tiger in and your house is facing southeast, then yeah, try not to get into too many heated conflicts or disagreements, because there is a serious chance it could escalate. And if you really do lose your temper, then it could actually spill out into more of a legal problem. So there's you've got to be careful what you say because of slander and things like that. People could really get quite huffy and get on their high horse. It is a horse month, and become quite sort of not tricky, more aggressive, unusually aggressive. So that's not a good thing.
Is
And
that tiger in any part of your chart? Hour,
yeah,
day, month, year?
yeah, but it's more. This is more about the direction. But if you have a tiger in the year, the month, the day, or the hour,
Uh-huh.
it has. So if it's in the year, it can affect you more generally. It could be around you. It may not even be you having the argument. You may be aware of a heated argument, and you might get dragged into a heated argument, whether you're trying to diffuse it or whether it's you're coming to the aid of someone. Because the thing with the tiger, they're very courageous, very brave. They're not scared. But if your house is facing southeast, and the challenging energy or the association with conflict is very strong, so that's where I'm just saying be a little bit more aware. If it's in your month of birth, it's more about your character and your personality, and you might be the one that's pouncing on the person who's offending you and drawing sort of that, making it more of a conflict than necessary. Same if it's in the day, could be you're squabbling with your partner, that could escalate. I'm not saying it's going to get violent, but the potential for aggression is much stronger this month. So
Mm.
just be aware of it, because by being aware of it, you're automatically reducing it, because you're not rising to the challenge. You can actually step back and think, oh, okay, this month it wouldn't be great for me or my partner if we really fight like cat and dog. Although in your house, that's quite a cute thing.
Yeah. Is
Mm.
that every June it impacts tigers like that?
No, it's this month. This month we've got a challenging star, which is to do with quarrelsome. It's called quarrelsome 3 star, and it's doubled up.
Mm.
So this is just an unusual month. Everything's doubled up, and because the tiger combines with the horse to make fire. Tigers
Oh,
are
I see. Yeah.
wood fuels the fire.
Right.
So tigers are naturally quite actually, I'm not just talking about the tiger's bad side. The tiger's good side is actually being an entrepreneur and being an opportunist. So that energy is still there. So if you channel it into the good stuff, what the tiger's good at is finding an opportunity where others might miss one. You can pour all of your energy into that. But yeah, just be mindful if a disagreement or a conflict or a quarrel starts to appear, just don't get involved. Just step away.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
aware that the potential for that is strong, and you don't want to aggravate it.
Awareness is key.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you can create greater levels of harmony by grounding the chi. So that I would use the earth element. So one of my go-tos would be some crystals, something that's very calming. But if any stone ceramics, stoneware, anything that has a little bit of weight, you can put it into that southeast sector of your home, and just give it an outlet. Or I mean, another one which is quite nice. It's an old feng shui cure. Is you get a vase that's quite round at the bottom, and it has a tall neck.
Oh
I've got
yeah.
one.
You drop incense in it.
Yeah, what that does is all the chi goes into the long neck and gets trapped at the bottom. So you put some incense in there to purify it. So that's just another, and it's also a reminder. It's a symbolical reminder of what you're doing and why you're doing it, and it can just help this month. So I'm not saying it's the cure on its own, but it will help remind you that a cure's in place for a reason.
And do you think everyone should do that, or specifically people that have tigers
I think
energy?
if you've got a quick temper and if you're going through a stressful period of your life, it's not going to hurt,
Okay.
and it can actually save you from tipping over to an extreme reaction. So
Mm.
just by being forewarned and forearmed and taking preventative steps, you're going to save yourself a whole lot of aggravation. Even if most of the time you're level-headed, it might be this month that you lose it. Whereas
Mm.
if you've got the feng shui cures in place, you've got more control. You're basically taking some of that intense energy, you're giving it an outlet.
So, as you know, so the first 2 weeks aren't as strong as the second 2 weeks in the month.
Well, actually, this month it is quite strong because we've got the heavenly stem yang earth is in harmony with the earthly branch of the horse. So the fire of the horse is supporting the energy of earth. So that combination will remain intact throughout the month. So that's from the 5th of June until I think the 5th or 6th of July. You've got this quite sort of it's power, it's intense. So you've got the fire, that spontaneity, but it's also got the earth energy there, which can cap it a little bit, but it's also like molten lava. It's like
Mm.
the earth is really heated up. So
Mm.
it is strong throughout the month, and certain signs will be sensitive more than others. So tigers, dogs, goats, horses will all respond to the fire aspect. There's a clash with the rats, but because of the lucky energy in the north, rats are actually probably going to benefit from the prosperity side of it. So there is a clash, but there's also a really positive energy that can result from that clash. So which we'll get to in a sec. But yeah, if the southeast sector is in your bedroom and you've got the tiger in your day of birth, then yeah, you're going to be a little bit more
Put some
sensitive.
rocks in that bedroom, guys and girls.
well,
Quick.
well, maybe not rocks under the bed or anything, but one of my favourites for bringing harmony and more love into relationships is the rose quartz. That's always
I've got some
symbolic
of that
of
on my
that.
desk.
Yeah, but amethyst is another one I really like. Amethyst, I have amethyst at my desk. Very just nice and calm. Just a nice, gentle vibrational energy there. Um, but yeah, I'm sure there's other cures you can use. Metal is another one, although I wouldn't use metal in the southeast. I'll save that more for the south. Okay, so moving on to my other notes.
What have you
Okay,
got?
in
What's
the
next?
east, east. What do you think is going on in the east? And this affects rabbits more than tigers, but because the rabbit is
Romance?
no,
War.
no,
What else is there?
poorly energy, sicky energy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. So if you're more weak or vulnerable or more elderly, so you haven't got the strong immune system. If you've got maybe young children, that could be a bit colicky. You're probably going to feel a little bit more run down this month if your house is facing east, or if you're spending time in the east sector of lots of time in the east sector of your home, so more than 3 hours per day. You might feel a little bit more lethargic, a little bit more sort of can't be
Mm.
bothered, that sort of energy. It's yeah, it's a sense of vulnerability, and particularly distractions, disturbances to your concentration. So everything takes twice as long as it should. Um, just that kind of vibe, really. Just more easily distracted, more difficulty concentrating, and then on more extreme levels, if you're recovering or what's the word? Well, basically recovering from an illness, it might take longer than expected if your house is facing east, or if your bedroom's in the
Mm.
east, or if you're spending kitchens in the east, if you're spending time in the east. Yeah, there's problems. You could have injuries from accidents. They're possible. So, yeah, you just need to pay attention to your health if you're in the east or your house is facing east. And the star that's most susceptible to that, unfortunately, is the rabbit. The little rabbit
Mm.
is
Sensitive.
yeah, you just losing focus, stamina. There's a little bit heavier energy, that kind of thing
Mm.
for rabbits, but not not all rabbits. I think there's good stuff as well. But if your house is facing east and you've got a rabbit in your chart, and also oh no, that's okay. I was thinking of you. Um, if you've got a dog in your chart, then the rabbit is sort of saved a little bit because the dog and the rabbit combine together. The dog's going to be receiving all this favourable fire energy, but actually the fire reduces the energy of the rabbit because the rabbit is a wood star. So if you have got if your house is facing east and you wanted to put in a cure, then I wouldn't go with water because I think that would be quite challenging for the fire. So maybe lots of fresh, healthy plants. Make sure your diet's full of fresh fruits and vegetables. Make sure you clean things. Make sure you're just reducing the potential risk there.
Cool.
Take medicines out of the east sector. If you've got a medicine cabinet there, put that somewhere else. Maybe the north. That'd be a better place.
Mm.
Yeah, just be a little bit more, pay attention to your health a little bit more this month if your house is facing east or if you're spending a lot of time in the east sector. Okay, northeast is not very nice either, I'm afraid. We've got betrayal and loss, gossip, problems, misunderstandings, cutting words, stabbing in the back kind of energy there. That's not very pretty. And it's quite strong because the northeast is an earth energy and the flying star coming in is 7. Earth supports the 7. So if your house is facing northeast or you're planning on doing any renovations or home improvements in the northeast, I would certainly hold back if possible, um, or just really be careful and do lots of precautions just to make sure you're protected. It could be problems with break-ins, that sort of thing. It's like a robbery
Mm.
style. It's not very nice. Yeah. Who's more likely to be vulnerable to that? Oxes. So it's got a double loss star, which means if you've got an ox in your chart and your house is facing northeast, or you're spending a lot of time in the northeast sector of your home, you're going to be a little bit at risk this month. It's sort of the vulnerability for loss is very strong. So try to sit somewhere else. If you can't change the direction of your home, which you can't, then I would put maybe some metal, small metal in that area. What metal? Well, and be careful of what you say, and yeah, make sure you've got security there, and don't have your wealth, sort of your purse and your bag showing, because you're more likely to have it stolen. So just take extra precautions. I think that's the best thing. Now, in the north sector of your home, which is the same for you, you've got actually some really good energy for long term prosperity. You've got the flying
Mm.
star 9 coming in. So there's a combination between that direction and that flying star, which is really good. So any beginnings of long term projects would do really well. So if, you can sit with your back to the north to draw that energy into your relationships. If you're facing north, then you're going to have the financial rewards coming to you, opportunities there. If you're spending time in the north sector of your home, there's another way to tap into it. You can use the water method quite easily. I think 2 weeks is ample. So you just have a small water feature with this water flow coming towards you, or if you're using the my old favourite pump and bucket.
Yeah, if you went to any of our workshops last year, we were showing Mum's DIY water fountain, and it's a bucket with a pump.
A small pump. We did show what happens with a big pump, and it basically all the water nearly flooded the
Yeah, made
computer.
a
So
mess.
yeah, so don't do that. But if you have moving water, that's really going to amplify the positive energy that's available in the north. If your house is facing north, another really positive combo this month for the whole of June. And if you've got the rat in your chart, then think about ways of making money. It could be a side hustle or an extra job you pick up. I mean, maybe if you're thinking about doing something creative, it could be. I mean, are you still doing your poetry and singing lessons?
No, to be honest, the last 6 months have been a bit of a whirlwind, so I
Well,
haven't really had time to do that.
why don't you start them up again? Because
I
your
have been
face,
thinking about poetry.
yeah, yeah. Well, anything creative, but also your voice, using your
Mm.
voice, whether it's speaking or singing.
I think that works in alignment to my full time job, because they want me to project lead a. It's like a communication strategy, but it's actually like a fundraising campaign,
Yeah.
and I'm the one that's leading it. So obviously, I'm going to get the team input, but I'm the project leader.
And what's it raising money for?
Well, that's the thing. It seems like I'm coming up with an idea, and it's either something that we would create or it's something that's already existing. But
So,
that's where I put my thinking cap on.
but it's to do with the Thames.
Yeah, and it's match funded as well. So for every penny, they put the same penny in.
That's fantastic. So you'll
Yeah.
be raising awareness to do with strictly the Thames, or is it to do with all the waterways in the UK
Yeah, so this is
and the
so I work
coast?
for Thames Estuary Partnership, and so this would be under that umbrella. However, we do also lead CPN, which is Coastal Partnership Network. However, I think that this campaign is strictly for the Thames Estuary.
Okay.
So it's like conservation, ecology, social sciences, wildlife, water quality. There's all sorts of things. I've made, I'm geeking out. I've made a Miro board, which is basically like an online whiteboard where you can like make like bubbles and ideas, and people can interact with it. But we're going to be moving into that. I think we've got a meeting at around the 20th of June, so it feeds into this time.
So from the 5th of June, I think you'll find any ideas or flashes of inspiration and any steps you take towards this project. So starting the project on or around the 5th of June. In fact, let me just have a quick look on my
I'm
Feng
recording a
Shui.
couple podcasts for Thames Estuary around that time frame. I'm doing an interview, one on the Tuesday and then another one on the Wednesday. But the person I'm interviewing on the Wednesday, he's in the 1% of best authors and most published authors in like academic writing.
Wow.
He's got like an OBE, he's got loads of other things.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, he's
So
amazing.
So we've got some good days for starting projects. So initiate day on the 10th of June. We've got a success day on the 13th of June. We've got another open day on the 15th of June. We've got stable on the 21st. We've got another, dumpling festival on the 22nd, but it's also initiate day. Success day on the 25th. Open day on the 27th. So there's some really good days for you to really max out on starting projects or initiate different sections of your project. So the chi will really help you there in terms of success. But also your house is facing that direction for happiness, joy, celebration, long-term prosperity. So if you've got all that good energy with you, you can afford to just push yourself a little bit harder this month, get more
Mm.
done, and particularly using your voice and your creativity. So I think it's a really exciting project for you, and I think you'll do really, really well. As will
Mm.
anyone else who happens to have a house facing north, or spending time in the north sector of your home if you're not facing north. So, say though, if you've got those houses where they've got the more difficult energy, like the southeast, the northeast, the east. If your house is along any of that alignment, then spend more time in the north and counteract that. Rebalance the energies. You can't move your house physically and change the direction it's facing, but you can choose where in your house you're going to spend the majority of your time. So if you can spend time in the south for if you're receptible to the fire energy, but if you prefer the water energy, you've got some really, 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 really good energy in the north, and it has a much longer, far-reaching effect.
Mm.
So yeah, south has motivation, but the north has long-term success, new opportunities, contentment, happiness, easy success, good fortune, all sorts of things like that. Let's have a look. Moving on. If your house is facing northwest, got my words mixed up. Northwest. What do you think is in the northwest?
Something bad.
Yeah, double misfortune.
No.
That's not good, is it?
Doesn't sound great.
No, no, no. Actually, the cure. So, yeah, let's not dwell on all the terrible things that could happen. But yeah, illness, money, right up there. But more to do with the male figures in the home than the female figures, particularly the dads or those in senior positions or in positions of authority. They're facing bigger obstacles. Um, the good thing is that the cure is quite easy and quite effective, and that's the metal element. So having some, I always use coins as a go-to. I've got a bowl of coins, but you could have any electronic item, anything made of metal, anything with a circular shape is related to the metal element. So I would put some metal around the northwest sector of my home, or if you can avoid that area. If your house is facing northwest, then put lots of metal in that northwest sector just to avoid any problems, providing you're basically providing an outlet for that chi, and avoid any earth energies, because that will just add to it. Keep the area nice and clean, don't spend time there, don't sleep in that, don't eat in it. If you can avoid that, spending time, then you should be fine. Who's likely to suffer most from that? um, Northwest would be, I think, southwest. Oh, the dogs, yeah. So, so people born with the dog star you need to be a little bit more cautious, if particularly if you're got the dog in your chart and you're facing northwest. So just avoid taking risks, and that way you can avoid potential misfortune. So accidents, injuries. You've got the dogs do have really good energy in their charts, and as I say, you've got that combination with the horse, so you do have support there, but you also are a little bit vulnerable if you've got the dog in your chart and your house is facing northwest. That's that one. Oh, and I think the pig is the other one. I knew there was another one. Yeah, if you've got the star of your pig in your chart, anywhere in your chart, and your house is facing northwest, you are a little bit at risk this month as well as the dog. So try and aim for being a little bit more relaxed and laid back. Try not to start anything this month that has got financial consequences. Don't do any renovations in the northwest if you can avoid it, and then you should be able to avoid the majority or the bulk of the difficult energy. The west sector has got better energy. That's very strong metal, but it brings blessings, windfalls, financial gains, brings benefit factors, mentors, particularly if your house is facing west or if you're spending lots of time in the west, if your bedroom's located in the west sector. It helps with networking and your social circles. So if you've got the rooster in your chart, I think you're going to have a pretty good month. Let me just check. Just having a look now. Yeah, that's what I thought. You could attract mentors. So you and I were chatting earlier about doing some business sort of. We're having a business sort of chat as well as our what was it like in Scotland chat. And I think for roosters, it could be a really good time to look for a mentor if you're looking for doing something new that requires you to sort of be a little bit more not vulnerable but doing something completely new. Speak to people that have done it before. Speak to people that have made successes of things before, particularly if it's to do with networking, communicating, because you've got a lot of that positive energy around you. If your house is facing west, it's doubly so. So good energy for west facing houses. If that's it, isn't it? We've done all the directions, and the last one's if you're in the centre, if you've got children and they're studying for exams, and you've got an open space in the centre, put them in there, because this year we've got some really good creative luck for academics, but it's also good for romance. I mean, you don't want your child studying for exams being sidetracked by the cute partner opposite, but you've got creativity, good imagination, and good for academic success in the centre of the home this month of June, doubled up.
Wow.
So that's it. I
So
think I'm
all of those
done.
things are doubled.
Yeah, everything's doubled.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Spicy.
yeah, very. And I wouldn't say trebled, but if the animals that I've picked up that are the most susceptible to that energy. So if, for example, the rooster in the west, the rabbit in the east, just if that happens to be you, and I don't want anybody to worry. And in fact, if anybody finds that's the case in their home, and they are worried, then just drop us a message and we'll tell you what to do or how to avoid it or how to reduce that energy. Because by using the constructive cycle of elements and the destructive cycle of elements, you can change your luck. And in fact, that's what we were talking about earlier. The difference between the Western zodiac and the Eastern zodiac is the Eastern Bardsey system is integrated with feng shui, which enables you to change your luck. So even if you're looking at having you know that you've got your Bardsey and you know what your good luck and bad luck are and which direction they're flowing in. You can change it at any given moment using feng shui. So you can just change where you normally spend time, change the orientation of that room. There's all sorts of things you can do to change your energy for the better, to minimize bad luck and to maximize good luck. That's what feng shui is all about, and that's what we're here talking about with Smashing Secrets, is to smash those sort of preconception
Boundaries.
boundaries and preconceptions, to enable more and more people to tap into the good stuff.
We have the power.
Fist bump. So I think I'm done, and there's more detail on the Patreon pages, and we're adding stuff to that all the time. So I've also wanted to say Happy Environmental Day to all the people in all the world on the 5th of June.
Oh, nice
So
one.
yeah, it's all about plastic this year. So let's be mindful of our plastic use. And on the 5th of June, let's try and do something, think of some great ideas to help the world recover from its plastic pollution nightmare.
Very good.
Hi.
Appreciate that.
My pleasure, my sweet, my love.
All right. Well, I'm very interested to see how this month unfolds.
Yeah, because you've got the
I've
rabbit
got
in your
dog,
chart,
rabbit,
dog,
and
yeah, monkey.
monkey.
Monkeys, I think, are quite lucky. Let me just have a look at the monkey energy. Rats are really lucky. Monkey, monkey, monkey. Oh, sheep are very lucky. Horses are
Goat.
lucky. Yeah, sheep and goats, same thing. Double victory luck. For horses, wealth and windfall. Where's my monkeys? Oh, monkeys outperforming the competition. So they've got abundance of luck this month. Smooth sailing.
Naturally.
Yep. Confident and inspired.
Yep.
People follow your lead. So be
Oh, yeah.
proactive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So monkeys combine with the rats for that north energy. So that's nice because I've got a rat and a monkey in my chart. So I better get a wiggle on. Yeah. Yeah, there's some really good stuff this month, really good stuff. So hopefully I've covered all of that and emphasised that it is a double whammy. And if you're lucky, you're going to be really, really lucky. And if you're unlucky,
You'll feel
then
it.
no, we do some feng shui. Change it.
Yeah.
Change your luck. Make things better. Better than ever.
My to wrap up, now that we're coming up to the end of the snake, how has it been for you?
For me, it's been quite transformational, which is what I was expecting, actually. I've become more confident. I've become a little bit more switched on. I feel more excited by what we're doing and how we're doing it. I've got loads of ideas. So whereas before I was a bit sort of mumsy and a bit like, oh, I don't know what to do. In fact, April, was it April? When I was doing the content for the Patreon and I was
Mm,
doing all the recordings for May. And then it transpired that it was actually, I wasn't doing a very good job of it. And we had to really work hard on the editing. I'm in a completely different headspace now. I'm actually, I'm really in a good headspace now. Whereas before I thought I was, but I feel I've
got some
shed.
clarity.
Well, I feel like I've shed a lot of the doubt I had, and I
Mm,
don't know how to do this. What am I doing? Chloe, help me. I feel like I've grown out of that kind of boundary. And in fact, the new me is much more sort of much more excited and optimistic and enthusiastic about what we can do. I'm learning new stuff all the time, and it's not just polishing my feng shui tools. It's actually I'm actually looking at things in a much more business-like way, whereas before it was sort of
mm,
coming from a hobby angle. So
mm,
now I'm feeling much more inspired to make this a much tighter, more sort of positive experience for everyone, you and
mm,
me, and everyone who's listening, and everybody who wants to get involved. I feel like May's been a great month for transformation for me personally. What
mm.
about you?
That's really interesting. I've definitely been busy with work. Felt very, very busy with work, and I felt like my mind was really rapid. Like I struggled to kind of stop and relax, but it wasn't a bad thing. It was like I wanted to just
Adrenaline.
keep, yeah, like I was every time that I went to kind of like have a break, I was just my brain was just like, oh, I could do this, oh, I could do this, oh, that's a really good idea, I'm going to do that, and I just had to do it there and then. I couldn't sit on it, like I just
I
couldn't
wonder
sit
if
on
that's
doing
because
stuff.
we had the monkey in our chart and the monkey and the snake combine.
maybe. But then what kind of threw a complete different world was going up to Scotland and going sailing for a week. That's like I don't do that very often. And that really it gave me a break, which like it gave me like a forced break, which I really needed. And it's like kind of made me slow down a bit and it's given me like that kind of like reset and I feel much more like lighter. I feel like really optimistic. I feel
More in
I feel like
control,
yeah, more in control. I feel like I'm more
happier.
level-headed. Yeah, and I feel like I've got my goals and I really do want to honor them. And like I want to be like you can be compassionate. Like you know how you're compassionate, you and I, like many of like people that are listening, we're very like compassionate people. But it's also you need to be compassionate to yourself first. You know, you need to
Do you
look after
know
yourself.
when I was really young, younger than you, the Dalai Lama came to the UK, and that was one of the first things he said was you have to love yourself before you can love others. And
Mm.
it seems so simple and so obvious, but actually, it's easier to serve others than it is to serve yourself. That was a big lesson.
Yeah, like I've definitely been saying that like for as long as I can remember, but it's actually finding the time to give your space to do that. And self-care comes in all sorts of things. Like laughter is like a great source of
Oh,
healing
massively.
and being around like friends and family and just doing things like going out for a walk, like you know all these things. But I think having gone up and done some sailing and kind of like reconnecting with nature a little bit, I feel like a lot more in touch to that like side of myself. I don't know if it's like more feminine or if it's just I don't really know, but I feel like I really want to give myself like a push in a more like healthy direction.
Yeah, nurture,
Yeah,
nurturing.
definitely.
Yeah, yeah. And how's all the furries in the house?
Do you know what furries mean, Mom?
I mean, the cat and the dog.
Yeah, I know, but do you know what furries are?
No,
Good. Don't look
why?
it up. Don't look it up. It's
I
like
thought
a
they are they animals.
they're people that dress up like animals.
Really? Is that a
Yeah.
thing?
Oh yeah, it's like a kinky thing. Yeah, we're not going there. But the my pets are great. Yeah, they're good. Yeah, like the dog's grown so much in a week. It's mental.
Oh, send me a picture. I haven't seen him for ages. I've missed him like mad.
Yeah, he's stretched.
Really?
Yeah, it's funny how quickly they grow.
Has he grown into his ears yet?
A little bit. His tail's gotten quite long.
Oh, and
Yeah,
how's
it's
he
like
getting on with
curls up.
Theo?
Oh gosh. Oh my god, the cat just literally just like hovered my foot. That really freaked me out. Yeah, the cat's good.
Is he there?
Yeah.
Can I see him?
Yeah, I think he's like guarding the door, I think. Someone might be waiting outside the door. Oh, here's the cat. So for our YouTube watchers, here's Theo.
Hey,
He
baby.
just woke up, so you can see he's very
He's
sleepy.
sleepy. I love the rainbow effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're all good.
All right. Well, I've lost Mia. I don't know where she is. She's hiding in the house. She's taken to sleeping in your room or your old
Nice.
room. Yeah, she's sort of commandeered that.
Hmm.
So I'm going to look for her, and then I'll give Nan a call. And I wish you a very pleasant and uplifting afternoon, my precious, my sweet, my
Thank
love.
you very much. I wish you a lovely afternoon as well.
Thank you very much.
Very much. Um, all right. So, for everyone that's listening, thank you very much for joining us. This is episode 46. Hope you've had a fantastic snake month. And
Still going. We've still got another, what, a week of
but
it
this will
left.
this will come out on the Friday,
Okay. What day's
so it's
that?
like
Let's have a look.
fourth, but
2nd of
second.
June. Hmm.
So our next newsletter, if you haven't signed up already, you can do that through the website.
Coming out on the 5th.
Yeah, that's going to be coming out on the 5th. That's going to have some tips and tricks about feng shui, how you can tap into the horse energy, And our Patreon, I've got the cat hovering all over me right now. Our Patreon
Oh,
will also have lots of tips about the monthly transition. So if you do want to find out any more information, you can find it out all there. Join the community.
is he purring?
I don't know, can you hear him? Yeah, I think so.
Oh, bless him. I love you, Theo.
Yeah, so cat's right by my face right now. I think he wants some attention.
Okay. Well, to everyone that's tuned in, thank you so much. I love that you're listening to Chloe and I every fortnight. Thank you very much. Makes me very happy. And if you're
And
watching
Theo.
on, on YouTube, you will see Theo getting lots of love and attention as well.
Yeah.
Yes, he's a beautiful baby.
Alright. He's like sleeping a little bit on the microphone now.
Oh,
Aww.
I
We
love
love
you,
our
mummy.
cats and our
Yeah.
doggy. Alright. Goodbye. Bye everyone. Bye.
Hey, just hands.
Jazz hands.